Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
Okay, here we go. Rocking and rolling on a Thursday. Set up live. You know it. If it's Thursday, that means the Young and Norvelle Show is set up live on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar down in the heart of Neptune Beach. We love it down here. We want to thank Chris Wooten and his wonderful wife, Deanna. They have been great supporters of everything we have done here on the Young and Norvelle Show. And even before then, 4 years, we love our Thursdays here at Sliders Oyster Bar, and we love the Thursdays when the weather is immaculate, of which it is. Man, you look at me, short sleeves. It's mid to late December, outdoors, short sleeves, having a wonderful time. It's Art Walk, I believe, up and down Neptune Beach and Atlantic Beach. Just a fun time. We hope you're out and about, getting off work soon, and can get out and play. Come by, say hi if you're in the area of Neptune Beach, and especially if you have a taste for some seafood. They have the best seafood, the freshest seafood. They carry the Safe Harbor brand of seafood, which is right there. I'm talking from the ocean to your plate. It doesn't get much fresher than that, and they will cook up your seafood to your specifications right here at Sliders Oyster Bar. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young may or may not join us. Pat has a lot of speaking engagements, a lot of stuff going on this time of year. We've had Pat most of this week, and we hope to catch up with Pat today and or tomorrow on the program. A lot to get to today, and you're invited to join us. I think you're going to enjoy everything we have. We are going to preview the Florida Gators bowl game today. Florida versus Tulane in the Gasparilla Bowl. That comes up tomorrow in Tampa. And you may say, well, Terry, duh, why not just preview the game tomorrow, day of the game, Florida Tulane? Well, duh, but right back at you. We will be on air tomorrow at Bricks Jacks Beach. We are on Fridays on the other end of the beach, down in Jacksonville Beach. The Gator game tomorrow kicks off at 3:30. Our show kicks off at 4 o'clock. We're 4 to 6. So we will be on tomorrow live from Bricks Jacks Beach, the bulk of the Florida bowl game. So we're going to go ahead and look into what we think is going to happen, some of the storylines, Florida versus Tulane, because we'll be on the air. By the way, I've been trying to tell all you folks, tomorrow is quasi, a lot of people go ahead and just take tomorrow off. That starts the holiday weekend. Next Wednesday is Christmas, and next Wednesday, blah, 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 is New Year's Day, and on and on. A lot of people start it tomorrow. So we have invited you. I have invited you. I've been posting it on Facebook. Hey, man, if tomorrow you've got to watch the Gator football game anyway, somewhere, right? You're off work. If not, you've got the Christmas flu. I will write the note for you to take the day off with the Christmas flu. Why not tomorrow, if you're a Gator fan or just a college football fan looking to get started with bowl games, come down tomorrow and watch Florida versus Tulane. They kick off at 3:30. We're on the air at 4. We're going to obviously be on the air the bulk of the game. Come on down. Say hi at Bricks Jacks Beach. They've got a bunch of specials. I don't even know what the specials are. Also, I will throw this out. Our show will have a bunch of specials. Come on down, and Patrick Young will buy you a draft beer. I will say that right now. If you come down tomorrow to watch Florida Tulane Gasparilla Bowl tomorrow at Bricks Jacks Beach, come on down, say hi, and Terry, you said Patrick Young will buy us a draft beer, and somehow, I guarantee you, you will get a draft beer in your hand, and it won't cost you anything. Thanks, Patrick. I hadn't even talked to Patrick about that. But anyway, it's going to be a fun time tomorrow. It's always a fun time here on Thursday. We will talk Florida Tulane bowl game preview. Some strange situations going on. Tulane, it looks like they're really up against it tomorrow against Florida. They're going to have to really play a good football game. Their quarterback, it appears, has opted out. Tulane had a good football season. They had a really good season. And this is a big game for Tulane. I'm not saying it's not a big game for the Gators, but Florida is the big brand in this matchup, Florida-Tulane. Tulane doesn't play the level of the Florida Gators in the SEC very often. So it is a really, really big game for the Tulane football program. But they've got a player or two that is going to opt out of the game. We'll talk about that as we preview it. Florida, not so much a on paper big game because, I mean, hell, Florida plays Georgia, and they play LSU, and they play Tennessee, and they play that level of competition. So Tulane, the Green Wave rolling in as the bowl opponent, that doesn't jack Florida, the football program, but the Gators have been on such a good roll. They're going into the offseason on such a high compared to – remember where Florida started the season. Game 1, Miami undressed the Gators. It was ugly. I was in Gainesville. It was a beatdown of epic proportions. 2 weeks later, the exact same thing happened. I was in Gainesville 2 weeks later. Texas A&M undressed Florida in Gainesville. And at that point, nobody was talking bowl game. People were talking, what week does Billy Napier get fired? And somehow, some way, Florida not only caught the momentum, the anti-momentum, they shifted the anti-momentum. Florida's on a bit of a roll. I mean, the Gators now have a chance to carve out a, 8-win season? And I don't know how they got to 8 wins. I mean, I've watched it just like you. And honesty compels me. Our preseason predictions, I don't remember Patrick's, and he may or may not jump on and he can catch us up. But I had Florida winning 8 or 9 games. I was torn between 8 or 9. Well, it looks like I know what I'm talking about now, but let me back you up. Beep, beep, beep. Back it up. Back it up, Terry. Back it up. I stumbled into this because 4 weeks into the season, I didn't think Florida had a rat's ass in you know what of getting close to 7, 8, or 9 wins. But damn, Florida, they go out and upset LSU. They caught LSU at a great time. They go out and upset Ole Miss, and the Gators have pieced together a really good season. By the way, huge Gator recruiting news possibly breaking today. I don't know if it's official. And yes, it could change. But did you hear what is going on? Have you heard what is going on with recruiting? And keep in mind, recruiting, the signing day for high school kids was a couple weeks ago. That doesn't mean that's the one and only day. The signing period stays open. The word on the trail, the recruiting, high school recruiting trail, not portal. We'll get into the portal here in a moment. But the word on the trail right now is that Tampa area high school receiving superstar, Dallas Wilson. He played for a high school in Tampa. He is a 5-star wide receiver that everybody in the world wants. Everybody in the world recruited. Big time. We're talking 3rd or 4th rated wide receiver coming out of high school in the country. I mean, that level, big time 5-star. Florida was in on him, and Florida pushed and pushed. On signing day a couple weeks ago, he signed with Oregon. So Florida was a bit crushed. The Gators, they were so close. And they need some wide receivers. They lose a couple of big-time playmakers. The word is that 5-star wide receiver out of the Tampa area, Dallas Wright, I believe his name is, he has requested his release, and he is basically becoming a free agent. And the word is Dallas Wilson is about to sign with the Florida Gators. That would be a monumental recruiting win for Florida. The Gators were already sitting around 10 in the nation. This would bump them up, I think, into the top 10, and that is a position of need. Huge news brewing, it appears, in and around Gainesville/Tampa with 5-star wide receiver Dallas Wilson. We'll track that as we see it. Speaking of the portal, the winter portal, and we welcome Patrick Young to the show. Pat, I don't know if you heard my dissertation a moment ago. Word on the recruiting trail has been hot and heavy today. 5-star wide receiver Dallas Wilson, a kid out of Tampa, right? A big-time wide receiver that everybody wanted. He signed with Oregon, Patrick. Word is he is asked and got his release. And word is he's about to sign with the Florida Gators, who finished second. Patrick, this would be huge news. I mean, this is one of these football players that appears to be ready to contribute as a true freshman.
I mean, I never put too much weight in on a high recruit as a freshman when it comes to football and the physicality. Obviously, there's plenty of rare cases, but if this kid's got potential, if he's Oregon, that's so far away. But happy that this can be something the Gators can be excited about.
Well, this guy, as I understand it,
we've been quiet on since he's been in our program, and Cormani McClain.
Yeah.
Is he staying at Florida? He didn't play much.
He had that pick six. He got in a little bit. I mean, was definitely not a first or second stringer yet. I think he's a guy. I think Cormani, and I don't know this, big-time recruit, followed Deion.
Big-time
things didn't work out with Deion out of Colorado, comes back to Florida. I think he is the classic, and Pat, you probably played against guys or with guys. He was the 5-star recruit that I don't think Cormani McClain ever had any adversity. I think when he was 6 years old, he was the best player. When he was 12, when he was 16, when he was 18, he found some adversity in Colorado. Things didn't work out. I don't know. I haven't heard he's not with Florida's program.
Right, yeah, I haven't heard anything bad or negative,
but
which is great.
He's a hell of an athlete. But getting back to this Dallas Wilson guy, the word is, I mean, and I'm going to use Alabama receivers as an example. Patrick, let's go back about the last 20 years. Alabama, Nick Saban, they would sign the number one 5-star receiver out of Florida, such as Amari Cooper. They would sign guys like that. Calvin Ridley. They would sign guys around the country. Julio Jones, 5-star. And Patrick, those guys got to Tuscaloosa, and they played from day one. Right. The word is this Dallas Wilson guy is a potential play from day one and make an impact. I mean, this could be huge news for Florida. They need wide receivers.
Dang, that's a big compliment to be thrown into that category.
It's a big mouthful. It is a big mouthful.
Yeah, and then I guess Trey Wilson's got another year, and hopefully he can be healthy.
He's coming back. Yeah.
He needs to. Then injuries really hurt him there.
Agreed.
This year is DK. Does he have another year?
No, DK's gone, and so is Badger.
Badger,
needs to, but if Billy Napier has done one thing at Florida in the portal, he has attracted quality wide receivers. Yeah. DK, Badger this year. Don't forget, Ricky Pearsall was a first-round pick, and he was a star at Florida for 2 years.
And if it wasn't for him getting shot and almost dying this year, he probably would be in the conversation for offensive rookie of the year because he's
that'll slow you down getting shot.
Oh yeah, getting shot. Yeah.
That'll slow you down. So big news out of the recruiting portal. The high school recruiting world. If Dallas Wilson ends up signing with Florida here soon, that is a huge deal. I think Florida is going to make an impact in the portal. They seem to every year make an impact. And Pat, we'll go over the portal in a little bit. I've got the actual the breakdown. There's a lot of, I think, rumors on the portal, and even Gator Nation, I think, is a little concerned because the portal, the winter portal, which we're in right now, it closes on December 28th. I think a lot of people are thinking you have to have your players sign. that is not when they have to sign. They
No.
can sign weeks later, and we'll go over that. I'll give you. I've got some notes about the portal. Hey, Pat, this is the final show that we will have to preview Florida Tulane. We will be on the air, and the game will be going on tomorrow. The game kicks off at 3:30. We're live on the air at 4 at Bricks.
Should we like Manning cast it?
I think we are. I think
that's what we should do. Except,
but we're gonna have.
What do I get to make fun of? I get to be Eli, and I get to make fun of you the whole time.
Why?
Because you have a bigger head than I do.
I do have a 5 head. we both got 5 heads.
You don't have a Peyton Manning head. You don't have a
Dude, I got Peyton's got a 6 head, doesn't he?
Man, doesn't he ever? That's
a big dome. What are your thoughts on the Mannings? Do you like watching them on TV?
It doesn't do it for me. It's not. I know a lot of people may like that aspect, but it's not for me. I'll try it. I think, them having Belichick on that definitely didn't do it for me. That was, but I think maybe some of the other guests that they can get on there in times that I might like that a bit. I'll give it another try. They're going to be on television. I like when
I'm kind of where you.
That's Pat McAfee would be perfect for something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of where you're at with the Mannings. I don't dislike them. I like both of them. My issue with the Mannings, I think they've been a little overexposed now. And you can kind of start saying the same thing with the Kelseys. At some point, I think if you have a good agent and a good PR department, sometimes your people can help your career by saying, hey, let's back off. I think the Mannings are overexposed a little bit. I think they're just
Jason
too much out there.
Jason and Jason Kelce, goodness, is he not doing everything in the world?
I think they're too. That's why I said that. I think they're a little overexposed as well. Sometimes I think your agent needs to step in and say, hey, let's idle this down. And instead of killing it for the next 2 years, let's see if we can stay relevant for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's also merit to like, hey, when you're hot, look at Snoop Dogg. I haven't heard anyone say they're tired of Snoop Dogg yet. And my man Snoop's been everywhere.
He's great, isn't he?
Snoop is everywhere.
Hey, your boy Snoop, he's got to come back to Jacksonville. He had the Jacksonville date and they canceled. They canceled a bunch of dates. He was coming to Jacksonville and I was going to work that show. Who wouldn't want to go see Snoop? I mean, I would love to go see Snoop. Wouldn't you? Hey,
I'd rather see this dog.
Uh-oh. Let me see it.
I'd rather see.
Let's see it. I hear you talking. I hear you talking.
This boy.
Who is that? Is that Riley? Who is that?
This is Decker.
Oh, Decker. Hey, Decker.
He's like, why did you just wake me up?
Exactly.
Look at Decker. Dude, how much does Decker weigh? Wow, what a big dog.
Decker's like 60 pounds.
Dude, 60 pounds.
He's a big boy.
Well, let me ask you this. If I was talking to Decker's veterinarian, how much should Decker weigh? Patrick? Benita?
I think he's right where he needs to be.
Is that right? Good weight?
Yeah. But he's probably gained after, and I told you, we found out he's got cancer in his lungs. And,
man.
We've just been giving him whatever he wants.
Oh, I second that. I may Amazon some food over to Decker right now.
He gets eggs and that raw meat and steak and.
Now give me the history. Give me the history of Decker. How did Decker find the Youngs? How did the Youngs find
the Youngs? He found this young right here in college.
How? I need more details.
I went and I was hanging out with the girl, and she had 4 other roommates, and she had 2 dogs, or there were 2 dogs in the house, and one was a golden doodle and one was him, and he is just from day one so lovable and friendly, and I'm like, whose dog is this? I love this dog. And they're like, oh, It's Emma's dog. She probably might let you keep him if you want. And then, as time went on, I asked Jim, I said, hey, can I dog sit? I'll bring him over to the house. I'll watch him and hang out with them. And eventually gave me an offer to buy him from her because her fiance, I guess, didn't like him or something. And I'm like,
I don't like him. I don't like him
how
just
can
for
you not
saying that.
like this dog.
I don't like him for saying that.
He gave her an ultimatum of like, it's me or the dog. And I'm like,
you got to go, dude.
He's got to go.
Beat it. Beat it, pal.
Look, I mean, he's 14 years in this family, or 12, whatever it is.
Hey, that is a great story. Hey, Patrick, there's only one thing about that whole story you just told that makes me not happy. You want to know?
Benita Young?
No. Hey, Benita. Here's the one thing that you bugged me about that story.
What?
I heard you say you were hanging out with this girl and she had 4 roommates. Why didn't you ever call me?
I'm sorry, 21-year-old Patrick Young didn't know 55-year-old Terry Norvelle.
Hold on. Yeah, my phone still works. You didn't call me? You're hanging out with
21-year-old Patrick Young didn't know 55-year-old Terry Norvelle at that time.
Shut your filthy mouth. Don't do math right now. Shut your filthy mouth. Patrick, my phone works. Right? Hey, operators, my phone. Yeah, it's still working, Patrick. My phone's working. You didn't even call me. You got 4 chicks you're hanging out with.
I was hanging out with one girl, and it was just her and I. And
I could have been hanging out with 3.
Elise, I think it was Elise. That's when I met.
He's got so many women. You hear him? You hear him, people? You hear him? Hey, Pat, are you? We're going to go to break here. Are you? Have you looked into the Florida Tulane game? I know it's not the most sexy game. Are you nervous at all? Florida needs to win tomorrow, though. They need to finish off.
Florida didn't play well against Florida State, even though they won the game. Whatever, yeah, they probably. These guys want to. If I'm a guy on the team, send the seniors out the right way.
Yeah.
And show like, hey, now we're legit. This should be a game they should dominate. I think it just like, I guess you when you just put your name in the transfer portal, you're out of there. You're not playing.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't the team have a chance to try to recruit you back?
Oh,
or do you think they'd rather?
They do. No. Hey, throwing your name in the transfer portal does not mean you can't stay with the school you're with. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. That doesn't mean. All right, Pat, hang tight. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll start setting up about 4:40. We're going to talk with our buddy. You know him by now, Cade Kistner. He works for Sports Illustrated. He covers NFL, Major League Baseball. We're going to talk Major League Baseball free agency at 4:40. But Cade is based, and he really, really knows the Tulane football program. So we'll get a good breakdown at 4:40 with Cade Kistner from Sports Illustrated right here on the Young and Norvelle Show. We'll take a break. We'll come back live from the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar. It is a Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jags.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
At the outside shot, that was a earlier Gator game, probably from this year. The 3 Heisman Trophy winners. Word is they need to see where that guy with the white hat is right there. Hey, you, sit down. Scooch a little bit because they need to put another base right there for Heisman Trophy winner number 4, DJ Lagway. Hopefully DJ Lagway will be set up there in, what is that? Is that bronze? I don't know what it is. Is that metal? I don't know. Maybe Patrick Young. Maybe you've had so many statues made of you, Patrick Young. We'll see if we've got Pat. We'll get him back on. But that was a shot of Florida Field outside before a football game, obviously. And the Gators will entertain a bunch of big games. We may get into the 2025 SEC schedule reveal. I really took a look at it this morning, and I wanted to get into it if we've got time. Some of the matchups as we welcome back to a Thursday edition. Terry Norvelle sitting right here on the patio of Sliders Oyster Bar, our Thursday home. We're here every single Thursday, and of course the best seafood, the freshest seafood. You will not find better seafood prepared to your specifications than you will find right here at Sliders Oyster Bar. I've known the family. I've known the operation here for a very, very long time. Very proud to put my name and our name associated with Sliders Oyster Bar, and the place starting to fill up here. You can kind of feel that festive holiday feel right now. Thursday, you can tell a lot of people off work today. And Patrick, I'm really looking forward to. I enjoy our Thursdays. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I don't know what your day's set up for tomorrow, Patrick. Okay. I'm sure you're having a great day. You're Patrick freaking Young, okay?
I'm picking up my nugget.
Your nugget?
Yeah, Kyla.
Oh, yeah. You've got to pick her up. Here's my day for tomorrow, and I'm excited. You got to understand, we're live at Bricks, Jacksonville Beach, every Friday, 4 to 6, right? The Gators kick off with Tulane, the Gasparilla Bowl, tomorrow at 3:30. I'm going to get down at Bricks probably 2:30 just to get set up. I'm going to set the gear up and watch the first 30 minutes of the game, and then we go on the air. Patrick, I'm going to watch the rest of the game, do our show. I'm probably then going to get a steak special, which is famous, right? The ribeye steak special at Bricks after the game, and then we'll have about an hour before, guess what? college football playoff game number 1 will kick off 8 o'clock tomorrow. Notre Dame, Indiana. Dude, that's a pretty good day right there, my man. That's a pretty good day. What do you think?
That's a great one. That's fantastic. Great day.
Like it. I like it.
Love it.
You in?
Remember that Notre Dame game? Gators are going to take care of business. The Gators are going to take care of business. So that'll be.
We'll talk to Cade a little bit. Florida should win tomorrow. The Notre Dame Indiana game will be interesting. That's a night game in South Bend. Obviously, Indiana is in Bloomington, so they're both cold weather locations. It's supposed to be cold as hell tomorrow in South Bend, I think, Patrick. Cold as hell tomorrow.
Gosh. Well, at least Indiana, like they're not like Miami or somebody where it's like, man, that is something that they are not going to be accustomed to at all.
What about Tennessee the next night? Tennessee at Ohio State at night. Columbus could be really cold tomorrow, Saturday night as well. Could be real cold.
I hate cold weather. I hate freezing cold weather like that. Oh gosh, it hurts my eyes watching people in it. And then when guys take their guys out there with their shirts off, they hate it.
Those guys.
They're like, oh man, how much time? I can't put my shirt back on because then people are going to think I'm a wuss.
Hey Pat, let me describe. Let me describe.
Smart.
Let me describe something, and you tell me: Am I legitimate? Am I legit being intelligent here, or am I just being a soft Southern baby? I think if a Northern team comes down late August or early September and plays a Southern team, okay, let's say Ohio State opened up next year in football with Florida on August 31st in Gainesville. Okay, it's hot as hell. It's going to be humid as hell. Am I wrong? I don't think Ohio State is at as much a disadvantage playing in that crazy heat than if Florida went up to Ohio November 28th and played Ohio State in the bitter cold. I don't, for some reason, I think those cold, snowy, icy conditions, I don't think that determines who's the better sports team. To me,
you always know there's not going to be a lot of offense. That's for sure.
And I know people will say, well, wait a minute, Terry, you're not being fair. The cold teams deserve cold climate as much as the hot team. I just don't think it parlays equally. I think on a frozen field with ice and snow and rain, I don't think that determines athletic prowess as much as, well, Patrick, I was trying to block you and I slipped more than you slipped. To me, that I've always looked at it like that. Am I crazy?
I don't think so. I mean, it was something I hadn't really even considered for a while, but how many of these freezing cold weather games do you really say the better team won versus
is there skill involved in a game that is 12 degrees with a frozen field with ice patches
there's toughness is involved. Like, I'm not going to discount that, but
is there
I'd be the one to argue and say, like, all right, then there shouldn't be any domes at all.
Yeah.
If we're just saying this is based off of toughness, there should be got to get rid of the domes, all of them.
Yeah. Around what you said, I've always wondered in these ridiculously frigid conditions is how much athletic skill is still involved or how much just it's a fluke. Whereas when it's 101 with huge humidity, I still think skill is involved between Northern school, Southern school. And maybe I sound just like a Southern snob, but I just don't think there's a lot of skill involved in the Ice Bowl 1967. Yeah.
Terry is a Southern snob.
What are you watching?
I'm watching.
What are you watching? No, I see you looking at something. What are you watching?
My eyes on. I'm watching Pat McAfee. Just kidding. I'm not watching Pat.
Your buddy?
I love Pat. You don't like Pat anymore?
I've never liked Pat. You're wearing your Pat McAfee tank top. You love the tank top. You're wearing a Pat McAfee tank top right now. because he's 40 years old and he acts like a frat boy, like he's Peter Pan.
Yeah, what is he for? But he had a good career. We can't say he didn't have a good career.
He was a freaking punter. What kind of career is that? He's a punter.
How many punts have you ever made in your life, Terry?
Don't you worry about my punting, okay?
How many?
I've punked a lot of people, okay?
How many fake field goals or fake onside kicks have you taken? Fake. And recovered the ball.
Hey, did you say how many people have I punked in my career? I've punked a lot of them.
What does it say? It's like driving in the snow. Why is it so blurry? It's like
I'm reading it. It's like driving in the snow as a Southerner. It doesn't necessarily make you a bad driver. You just don't have to experience. Yeah. You just don't. Yeah. Well said. Mike, well said right there. I just don't think ridiculously cold weather determines anything athletically. Pat, think about it. If it's rainy and cold and windy, they call off a track meet. Baseball games get rained out. If the University of Florida basketball, when you were at Florida, if you were playing the biggest game of the year and condensation was dripping down on the court, they would cancel the game, Patrick.
Right,
they wouldn't
absolutely.
just say, right? They would cancel the game. Hey, when Augusta National, the Masters, is teeing off, if it's pouring down rain, they don't say, well, let's see who the toughest golfer is. No, they cancel the round, Patrick.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They hold it off. Absolutely.
Makes sense?
That makes sense to me. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I would honestly, I don't know, be one of those golfers that if the weather was so bad, my back, I got to withdraw.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's
bad back.
It started tightening up on me. It's nothing to do with it being 30 degrees and rain's coming sideways out here.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with it.
All right, Patrick, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll have our buddy Kate Kistner. We're going to talk some Tulane, Florida Bowl, and Major League Baseball. He is very, very tuned in with baseball. He's covers baseball for Major League Baseball for Sports Illustrated. Real quick, Pat Mahomes cleared to play this Saturday against the Texans. Patrick, I would not play Pat Mahomes this week. I would.
If he had any pain in his ankle, I would just be like, nah, man, it's just not worth it.
Why would they play him? And also, news out of college football: Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia. You know Pavia, the little guy that took Vanderbilt to 6 wins. He has gotten his year of eligibility back. He'll return to Vanderbilt.
He did? He got it back?
Yeah, he gets his year back because he played in junior college, and they said, we're not going to count that against you.
Well, they don't in basketball. That's a rule change. They don't count. They don't, which is, I honestly don't think that's right.
Yep. It's kind of new. What they're doing now, they're saying because of NIL, you had no chance in junior college years ago. You couldn't have gotten any NIL money. So instead of being punished, you can get a year back. So Vanderbilt will get their.
How many other players are we going to see take advantage of that rule?
Probably a lot. Now, probably a lot, but keep in mind the school has got to want you to come back too. Some guys,
that too.
The school says, "Hey Pat, why don't you go ahead and scram? We don't want you back." Right?
That's what they would say to you, Terry.
Hey Patrick, did you walk that street right there? Can you see the bump shot here?
Yeah, I walked that street a million times. Duh.
How about that bell?
I never went up to the bell.
Yeah, what?
Never gone.
Word has it you graduated from Florida, but you never went up to the top of the bell?
Never went to the bell, bro.
All right, brother. Hang tight. We're going to talk some Tulane, Florida bowl game tomorrow. We're going to preview it right now on the other side. The Young and Norvelle show continues on a Thursday live from Sliders Oyster Bar right after this quick timeout.
Never did the bell.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
All right, back we are. There's a good-looking shot of the Jaguar indoor practice facility, the Miller Electric facility. Jaguars just about winding things down. 3 games left, and I think the Jaguars are going to mess around. And I hate to say this as we welcome you back to a Thursday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show live from Sliders Orchard Bar. I think the Jaguars are going to mess around and win 2 of the last 3 games, Patrick. And we're going to try and get Cade Kistner on here momentarily and talk some Florida Tulane bowl game. But, Patrick, the way it's playing out, man, the Raiders are terrible. The Jaguars are going to win Sunday. They're going to beat the Raiders. The Giants are terrible. The Jaguars are going to mess around as only the Jaguars can do. Patrick, they're going to win at least 2 of their last 3, and they're going to draft about 10th, and it's not going to help them at all.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that what's going to happen?
Well, is there any part of you believe that they're going to lose those games? I know,
you know what?
The Raiders are so bad, man.
They're going to beat the Raiders.
They definitely should win that one, without a doubt. They're so bad.
They're going to, and you know what? They may beat. They've got what? The Raiders, Tennessee. The Titans are terrible, right? And then they have Indy with Anthony Richardson. They may win all three. And Patrick, I think that would be the worst thing possible for this franchise.
Do you not saying do you want to change your opinion? I don't think you will change your opinion, but have you been a little bit motivated by how well Anthony Richardson has, like, the flashes that he's shown in some games here recently? Since he's come back, he's played the best of his span in the NFL.
Maybe I saw something different, but
not saying a lot.
I saw his stats.
But he's played his best.
Maybe I saw something different. I saw his stats. He was 17 of 38 the other day with 2 picks. I mean,
Oh, gosh.
I think he's terrible. I think there was this one group that was saying, well, he hasn't played that much football. He's played a lot of football now.
Played enough.
I think he's terrible. The Jaguars may beat Indy also. The Jaguars could easily win these last 3 games. Patrick, and I know you can't really lose on purpose. I get it. It's professional sports. You owe your ticket buyers. You're a professional. You want to put good tape out there. The Jaguars are going to mess around, and they may win 3 in a row here at the end. And, Patrick, that will be the worst thing long-term for this franchise.
I know, right?
God almighty. Goodness gracious. I don't know. What do I know?
Doesn't that make you just like, I mean, a guy like Anthony Richardson should make you really have to evaluate everything with how we're picking quarterbacks out of college, and even Will Levis, and even Caleb Williams as the number 1 pick. Like, you have to find like the best. I say the best players seem to be the ones that, and if they do start right away, maybe they've come from a pro style offense where, Jaden Daniels was not holding on to the ball like Caleb Williams was in college. Yeah. He was not. Like, you have evidence to believe that Jaden Daniels.
I don't know, man. I look at Caleb Williams. At least he showed legitimate quarterback play in college. Anthony Richardson, other than throwing a couple of deep balls where you just drop back and throw, he never. I blame the Colts.
He's a freak athlete. Where do you think you would put him?
Yeah.
A receiver, tight end.
Sometimes the freakish of athletes does not have a position that fits them. I mean, that's not the first time ever. He's definitely not a quarterback. And if you're the Colts, when do you pull the plug on him? I mean, how much longer do you go? I mean,
don't pull a mistake with Daniel Jones. And then look, I'm not trying to compare him career-wise, because career-wise, Daniel Jones is much better. Like, at least he got that 1 playoff win, but don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Paying that guy and then like, dang, we made a mistake. We paid this guy way too much money.
Hey, Pat, have you seen the Saturday schedule of football in the United States? It's in the United States. We've never had anything like this. You have not 1, not 2, but 3 college football playoff games, elimination games, interspersed with 2 very meaningful Saturday NFL games. Did you know that? There are 2 games in the middle of the day Saturday in the NFL, and then there's a noon, 4 and 8 college playoff game. Unbelievable Saturday.
Right, yeah. That's awesome. I mean,
we've never seen it.
Forget all this nonsense with football games overseas. I do like having games in the morning, though, on Saturdays. Sundays and Saturdays. Forget all that.
You got a high noon game Saturday. A meaningful
high noon, baby.
Right? That's Penn State and SMU, I think. High noon.
Blowout. Absolute obliteration. And I don't even believe in Penn State's offense at all, but it's still blowout.
They're having a whiteout, they say. A high noon, 11 a.m. whiteout. I think it's 11 a.m.
I wonder how much those tickets are going for.
I don't know.
Like, that's a great advantage. I mean, in this current setting, like, to get an additional home game and like, up the price a little bit. Add that 10% playoff fee or something like that. Don't you like that?
Here we go. 3 games Saturday. Obviously, we've got the game Friday night in the playoff. You've got Notre Dame hosting Indiana. But of these 3 games, Patrick, on Saturday, noon, SMU at Penn State. 4 p.m., Clemson at Texas. 8 p.m., Tennessee at Ohio State. Patrick Young, if Saturday you could go to 1 game in person, would you go to Penn State, Texas, or Ohio State?
Texas.
You'd go Texas.
I don't want to be a frozen fan.
Okay, fair enough.
And fair plus,
enough. Okay, let me ask you this.
Everyone knows in Texas about 6th Street or 8th Street, 6th Street.
I don't know. Is that the place?
That's where the action is. All the action is there, Terry. It's a young man's game, though.
Okay, Pat. Whoa. I think we've got let's see if we've got Cade on. I think we've got Cade sitting there. There he is. Hey, our buddy Cade Kistler. Cade, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Glad to have you. I know we got short time here. Cade, you're going to do some double dipping. Obviously, you cover Major League Baseball for Sports Illustrated. You also are very, very close and very knowledgeable of Tulane, the Gator opponent. Let's start there, Cade, and Patrick and I are going to fire some questions. Hell of a year for Tulane. For the longest time, there was thought that if Boise State stumbled their toe, Tulane could get that Group of 5 bid. Tell us about this Tulane football team that Florida's going to play. I know their quarterback's out. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? The Green Wave.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tulane had a great season, and like you mentioned, if Boise stumbles a little bit, then Tulane could have been in. They had a pretty poor final 2 games of the season. I think there was a lot of distractions there, much like last year. Hey, is the head coach going to be leaving? Is he going to take the Kentucky job, the UNC job? And then you have your redshirt freshman quarterback who stopped going to classes, stopped talking to teammates the final 2 weeks, didn't take his finals, and had some young money bro dude agents, talking in his ear, telling him to go to Duke of all places. So there was a lot of distractions at the end of the year. And so now you've got Ty Thompson, number 7. He'll be starting the game for the Green Wave. He's a transfer from Oregon. He was the guy that, the team thought was going to take over the starting quarterback position this year. And Darian Mensah, the redshirt freshman that I was just talking about, had taken over and had beat out some more senior guys. So now you've got Ty Thompson, who actually reminds me a lot of like Taysom Hill. Can throw the ball, but he's not super consistent. He's got a great run game. You have a lot of other players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, that have entered the transfer portal. And so this is a Tulane team that is not going to look like itself like it did, throughout much of this season, last season, or, even in 2023 when the Green Wave beat the Caleb Williams-led USC team in the Cotton Bowl, right? So I think what a
great game that was.
Yeah.
Patrick, you remember that game. What a great game that was the other year. Tulane, USC, down to the wire. A lot of fun. Pat, you could fire some questions as well. But, Kate, I want to ask you, the running back comes back. Hughes, I believe his name is. I mean, this guy was nearly a 1,400-yard running back. John Summerall, the coach for Tulane, he's an SEC guy, man. I mean, he played at Kentucky. He's Kentucky born and bred. He led some Kentucky wins over Florida when Kentucky's personality was smash you in the face on the line of scrimmage and stop our running game. Ty Thompson, the quarterback that will take over, he's run a lot more than he's passed. Is that their game plan, do you think? That they hope to just outman Florida and run the ball against the Gators?
That's what it's going to have to be. And so Mekhi Hughes, he was one of the better running backs in college football this year. And again, very, very John Summerall style, like you had mentioned. And so that really helped Darian Mensah. There was a great situation for Mensah as a young quarterback to be able to have that type of running back, set up the play action, kind of give him some time and some easy throws. And so I think it's going to feature a lot of Mekhi Hughes, a lot of Ty Thompson keeping the ball on the ground himself. And it's going to be smash mouth football, which has been kind of different than what we've seen from Tulane over the last 3 seasons. And so I think that's kind of going to be their game plan. And I'm not sure if this is public yet, but whatever. Mekhi Hughes also just signed with Tulane an NIL deal, so he will be back. If you're a running back, I don't know why you ever leave Tulane. So
what do you mean he signed an NIL? Like, isn't that supposed to not happen? You're not supposed to sign a NIL deal to go play. Like, what are we doing, NCAA?
Well, you know what? Like in that, we start going down a rabbit hole of what the NIL has done, and what NIL has done, what the transfer portal has done for this sport. When you've got guys, leaving and entering the transfer portal before a playoff game, right, or before a bowl game, and so this argument of, well, the playoff has been expanded. So does that make games any less meaningful throughout the season? Yeah. Well, if you're going to have if you have 25 guys leave, or you're going to have your starting quarterback leave before a playoff game, by definition, it makes every game meaningless, right?
And
How
so that's
wild
like,
would that be?
yeah, or like, it's like having MLB free agency before the playoffs, or hey, we're going to have NFL free agency after week 17 before the playoffs start, and we're going to have guys leave teams. I mean, it's ridiculous, and it's
Yeah,
crazy town if you actually think
but
about
like
it.
in baseball, Cade, guys, they make those trades and they can play right away.
Right.
That's the main difference.
True.
To justify it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's hard for me to justify,
I know, man.
leaving your team, and ahead of sometimes these teams, they don't make bowl games very often, and when you
Right.
do, and then the entire team leaves. I mean, you look at Army, right? I mean, Army hasn't, they've been pretty good recently, but they just won the AAC championship, and then their bowl opponent had a forfeit because their entire roster, like 35 guys left, and they had to go find a 5-win team in Louisiana Tech to play Army in
Yeah, how
what's
about
now a
that?
famous bowl game.
That's
It's
why
ridiculous.
they forfeit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And part of it is their coach left, which precipitated a little bit. Kate, let me ask you a couple of thoughts on the bowl game, Florida Tulane tomorrow. We're kind of previewing it today because we'll be on the air during the game tomorrow. That's why we're previewing it today. Your feeling, being a Tulane guy, kind of you've got connections. You're around that program. With the quarterback, the star quarterback has portaled out. You mentioned some other players. It's been a hell of a year for Tulane. They're 9-4. They lost their last 2 games. They're in the conference championship game, so they've had a hell of a year. Do you feel like the Tulane football team that's going to run on the field tomorrow, will that be a banded together team, us against the world, or will that be a fractured team? What are your thoughts on that?
What I've seen from this team so far with all the drama that's happened over the course of the last 3 weeks, these guys are really sticking together. John Summerall is a fantastic coach. He's one of the best up-and-coming head coaches in all of college football. I think he's got those guys, heads screwed on straight. I think this game really favors Florida, especially being in Tampa. It's, essentially a home game for the Gators, right?
Sure it is.
But I think it's going to be an interesting game. What's interesting too is Ty Thompson, who's starting the game. He's already entered the transfer portal, but he said he's going to play.
Crazy.
And because this is kind of a tryout for him, right? So whether he stays with Tulane or he goes somewhere else, there's going to be some eyes on him, and he understands, what's going on. And so I think that there's still a lot to play for a lot of these guys, and there's still a lot of weapons on this team, and still have some of the best. Trench guys out there, both on the offensive line and the defensive line. So, I think it's going to be an interesting game. But at the end of the day, I think the Gators are probably pretty heavily favored here.
And Patrick, to catch you up, you may know this from looking into the game a little bit. The quarterback for Tulane has portaled out. He had a great year. Mintz, I believe, is the way you pronounce his name. Great year. Really talented, best player on the field, probably. The guy that will start for Tulane, as you heard Kate say, he's already entered the portal. So he's kind of looking to put tape out there to shop his wares. He's already put his name in the portal. He's a guy named Ty Thompson, and I vividly remember him from 3 or 4. Patrick, he was a 5-star high school quarterback recruit, big-time recruit that signed with Oregon. He went to Oregon as a 5-star. Things didn't work out. So this guy's got a pedigree. He's got a big-time pedigree, and he's showing himself off. I mean, it's a job interview for him tomorrow. It really is. I mean, that's tomorrow is like that. That's a standalone bowl game. I mean, 3:30 tomorrow. Everybody's going to be watching that game. It's going to be interesting. Kate, Pat may have a question or two, and I'm going to throw 1 or 2 more at you, and then I want to get a quick baseball thought or 2 on with you. Do you think, Kate, that with all the stuff going on around the Tulane program, Florida's pretty standard. I mean, they've had guys train strong, so it's feel good around Florida. It's a little fractured around Tulane. Do you think it helps the Green Wave that the opponent on the other sideline, when they look across, it's not Southern Miss or East Carolina. It's a brand. It's a big, strong brand in Florida. SEC. Do you think that helps Tulane at all, as opposed to if they were playing a Southern Miss or somebody across the sideline?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this is, like you mentioned, this is an SEC team. This is, like you say, it's a big brand. Everyone knows who the Gators are. And so, this harkens kind of back to the old days of the SEC when Tulane was in there and was playing Florida. And, And so this is obviously an opportunity for the school and for this team and for, Coach Summerall and his staff as well. And so I think when it was announced that it was going to be Tulane and the Gators, that there was a lot of excitement, going into this bowl game, notwithstanding the drama behind losing, Darian Mensah, which was it was an absolute shock and a surprise to everyone that's close and around that team. So, but, I think at the end of the day, spirits are pretty high. You move forward, you're focusing on this game. And at the end of the day, you get to go out and play an SEC opponent like the Gators, and you got to take that opportunity whenever you get it.
Patrick, I don't know if you realize this. I think Tulane was a former SEC member, and I think Tulane might have been a charter member.
It was a founding member.
Yeah, they were Patrick. Tulane was a founding charter member of the SEC years ago.
Yeah, national championships and SEC championships. Yeah,
and Tulane recently has really been a coaching cradle. I mean, Willie Fritz went on, and I hate to be this guy, but Cade, I'll throw this at you as well. I assume the people around the Tulane program, they probably realize they're renting John Summerall. This guy has got Kentucky written all over him. I mean,
well, you would think so, right? His alma mater. I mean, that position is probably going to be open with
it's
Bob
probably going to
Stoops.
open soon, isn't it?
Yeah, Bob Stoops going out. But hey, listen, Tulane, they showed Summerall the money and he signed, and so we'll see what we get out of him. So, but I think he came up in this, he came up underneath the Tulane program. He was an assistant coach at Tulane, and then went off to, I believe, Troy, and now he's back. So, I think with a lot of these coaches, just like Willie Fritz, you're maybe renting coaches, but at the end of the day, Tulane is one of these programs, being at the top of the group of five that has that opportunity to sneak in and, come in and take a playoff spot, and that almost happened.
You can win at Tulane.
Yeah,
you can win at Tulane. That's a great city, Patrick. And I'm not sure if we got your volume on, Patrick, but Tulane. That's a great city you're recruiting to. I mean, Bob Toledo went there and won 61 games, and Mac Brown won big. Willie Fritz won big.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's going to be interesting tomorrow. Hey, I know this for a fact. The last decade, Florida versus Kentucky. Kentucky probably should have won 2 or 3 more games against Florida. They beat Florida 3 or 4 times in the last 10 years. Probably should have won another 1 or 2. And the architect of that wasn't necessarily Mark Stoops. It was John Summerall. Kentucky has a saying. They call their offensive line, or called it when he was there, the big blue wall. I mean, this son of a gun, Patrick and Cade, if he's got his way, he'll shove the ball down your throat for about 60 carries, and the game will end. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Isn't that right, Cade?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, and actually, Kentucky this year too. I mean, it's been fairly good. They're one of the few teams I watched. I actually went out to Tennessee to Neyland and watched Tennessee, Kentucky, and Kentucky's a pretty good team. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Cade, let's jump into some baseball here for a couple more minutes with Cade Kistner, our buddy who joins us from Sports Illustrated. Talking about a number of things. We'll skip the Saints right now. They're about as bad as the Jaguars.
Yeah, please.
We'll skip the Saints. Free agency, Major League Baseball, Soto. The Soto chip fell. We kind of thought it might have been the Mets. It was. Did the number surprise you at all? What a number for Soto.
No, not at all. I think actually you and I were texting back and forth one night about what I think it could be, and I think I said like 740 to 760. So it was, pretty much right there. And what's crazy about Juan Soto's contract is that there's actually an opt-out where for the team where that number, that 765, can actually become $805 million.
Good Lord.
Which is just crazy for me because Juan Soto, in my opinion, is not a generational player.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah,
he's not a generational player. You look at his career stats from his rookie year to his current age, and you compare that to say Mike Trout, who got a $462 million contract.
right? And Mike Trout beats him in every single category. Hits, home runs, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, stolen bases, you name it. Mike Trout has absolutely destroyed Juan Soto in every single category. You look at, Shohei Ohtani, the greatest baseball player to ever live, getting $700 million. You look at Aaron Judge, his former teammate, who didn't get anywhere near what Juan Soto is getting. And Juan Soto, in my opinion, is a good baseball player, but he's got his highs, he's got his lows. He goes hot, he goes cold. He's relatively inconsistent. And so that was the absolute perfect Mets move. It was right on brand for Cohen. Way overpay for a non-generational player. Good luck to the Mets.
Well, Cade, what is it? I mean, he's put up some black and white numbers, but is it the raw black and white numbers, or is it the projection? What is the? I know he's a really good player, but
a bunch of home runs.
Yeah, but what's the crazy love affair with Soto, thinking he's going to be, or is it? You might have just said it. Is it the Mets being the Mets?
It's the Mets being the Mets. And so, but it's also product scarcity, right? So let's look around the league and, who else is available in free agency this year, in terms of bats. And you see Pete Alonso, right? You see Paul Goldschmidt. And other than that, I mean, you're not, that's why you're seeing a lot of trades this year so far. And, the thought of moving Nolan Arenado, et cetera. Yeah. So if you're looking for an impact bat, Juan Soto was, kind of the marquee free agent. And so being the Mets and being Steve Cohen, you want to go out there, you want to win, you want to show your fans that you mean business. And so that was a very Mets move. Let's just throw money at the problem. Does he fit or does he not? And so, the good thing is Juan Soto pretty much fits on any lineup. I thought he fit really well with the Yankees, having Aaron Judge hit behind him. But, you look up and down the Mets roster, and they're going to probably lose Pete Alonso. You've got Francisco Lindor, who, has shown flashes of brilliance, and then, you maybe question why he was signed in the first place. So it will be interesting for the Mets, I think. Again, they're still in a really tough division, sitting right there with the Phillies. And so I don't really know. But it didn't surprise me that Juan Soto got that much, because there was so much talk, even before the playoffs began, about what Juan Soto was going to get. And so I think a lot of it, too, is, media manufactured as well.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, let me ask you, from what you know of Soto and your baseball people, I mean, in New York, he signed a big deal with the Yankees. Okay, that was a big deal when he came over, but there was still a guy named Judge next to him in the outfield. And Judge commanded, I thought, more PR than Soto. Is Soto, does he have the mental makeup? He's going to be the man. I mean, with that contract, he is the man on that team in that locker room. Can he handle that?
Well, listen, I think that, he did it with the Nationals as a young man, as a young player. He handled it well his first time in New York, even though we had, Judge with him and Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton, who, kind of take up some of the media airwaves on that team. But he did it well there. And I think that, he's got a really good opportunity to show that, his confidence and his mental makeup. I think he's done a good job of that already. I think that maybe that's also a reason why teams were willing to kind of take that risk on him, this large investment in one player, because he has shown that he has the mental makeup to absorb that pressure and still go out there and perform at a high level, relatively consistently through a 162 game season.
Are the Mets counting on? If we were in the Mets front office room right now and they're talking, they must be banking on, man, he's got a half dozen more big time years in him. Or they think he's got 6 big time years, 8 big time years. I mean, they've got to think he's got multiple years, right? Still left.
At a 15-year contract, you got to be thinking that he's going to be able to play the field for 6 to 7 years, and that he's got another, 4 to 5 in him at DH as well.
At DH,
And so, I mean, you look at some of these guys that are getting, a little bit older, even like Paul Goldschmidt and even Nolan Arenado, and there's some other guys in the league that, are pushing, late 30s. And that are still performing at a high level. I mean, I know Bryce Harper, for example, the Phillies, wants to play into his 40s. You've seen Justin Verlander do it. So, it's on the pitching side of the house. But, I think now, the Mets are thinking, okay, 15 years in our world, we've got 2 World Series contention windows with Juan Soto right now.
Soto, yeah. All right, we got to bounce around real quick, Cade. We're running out of time. Pat can jump in as well. Max Fried makes a move. Is he still an ace?
Yeah, I think Max Fried is super solid. I think he's a great pitcher. He's a top, 1 or 2 guy, depending on what rotation you put him on. I think it was a pretty fair deal, and that was a good move, I think, for both parties.
Where do the Braves go?
Man, that's a good question. So again, you got to kind of look around the division and you got to say, is this our year? But there's a lot of great talent in that lineup still. There's some really good guys left in the free agent market. There's some great guys on the pitching side of the house that, you could look at. But I don't think they're going to dabble near the top of the starting pitching market. But it'll be interesting to see, kind of what they decide to do. Plus, you get Spencer Strider back, right? So
yeah. Any new rumor mill on? I think everybody's talking right now and putting their bids together on Sasaki, the phenom from Japan that's coming over. And any new talk on who he's talking to and his people?
Yeah, I've just heard over and over again, Dodgers and Padres. So Dodgers makes complete sense, and I think the Padres does too. Both franchises have multiple Japanese players on the team. They know how to kind of acclimate these guys to play ball here in the U.S. and life in the United States. It's also closer in time zone, closer flights back to Japan. So Dodgers and Padres, I think, are kind of like the two front runners right now for Sasaki.
All right, before we let you go, let's get back to college football. Cade Kistner, our buddy from Sports Illustrated, covers and is really well versed with Tulane. Cade, Gasparilla Bowl. 3:30 kickoff tomorrow. Final score. Give me it from your perspective. Who wins? Give me a score.
I'm going to go Florida 24, Tulane 14.
24-14. And by Billy Napier's boring, slow offense, that's a blowout for the Gators. That's a blowout.
There's a lot of missing pieces on the Tulane defense. So
a shame. What a shame we're in that era of college football. And that's probably one of the bigger warts that still is on college football. The expanded playoff is good. The expanded conferences are probably good. We still have to figure out a way to get these guys to play bowl games, because bowl games can be really meaningless if, 6-8 guys are gone from each side.
I think you push the transfer portal back to 2 or 3 days after the national championship. And then you give these guys financial incentive, to play the game.
Right, there you go.
Play the bowl game. And I think that takes care of your problem right there.
Yeah.
And that might mean less bowl games, but that's okay.
Are you going to Tampa or no?
I'm not. I was in Vegas for 2 weeks for the national final of rodeo, and I am just absolutely exhausted. So I'm gonna stay here in New Orleans and just kind of kick it back a little while.
And Patrick, you may not know, Cade's a big rodeo guy. We're going to try and get him on the TV show Yellowstone soon. I think you should be on Yellowstone.
Those are actually some of my good friends. I hung out with them for 2 weeks in Vegas, so they're good people.
The Yellowstone people?
Yeah, they're a good crew.
He didn't want to brag, but yeah, he hangs out with Kevin Costner and Rip from Yellowstone. This guy. All right, Cade, good stuff as always. We appreciate everything you do for our show, man. And look forward to when you get back here in North Florida. Let's get together and have a cold beer.
All right, sounds good to me, Terry. Thanks, Patrick. See you later.
That's our buddy Cade Kistner from
Don't
Sports
you offer Terry if Terry wants a warm beer with you?
Cold beer.
That means he doesn't like you. If that beer is warm.
Hey, cold beer. All right, we took it a little bit long. Let's go to break, Pat. We'll start landing the ship. Want to go over, Patrick, you and I haven't gone over the SEC football schedule reveal last week. The 2025, we know the players, we know the opponents, and we know where they will play at on the schedule. Some interesting developments in college football from the SEC. We'll talk about that with Patrick Young on the other side. It's the Young and Norvelle Show right here on Action Sports Jax.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jags Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave, so I feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer.
You can schedule a test drive at NimnickBuickGMC.com, and while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
There we go. You know what that is. That is a overhead shot of Raymond James Stadium down there in Tampa, FLA period. They'll be playing some ball tomorrow in that yard with the Gators taking on the Green Wave. We welcome you back. Terry Norvelle, Patrick Young hanging out. We've got a little less than an hour or so. What do we got? A little over 30 minutes to go, Pat. And have you been in that stadium? That's the one with the they got the pirate ship, right? That's the pirate ship stadium with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't been there before though.
I've been there. That's pretty cool with the pirate ship and the way it fires up Like the only cooler thing would be if Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack, was in that thing, man. That'd be great. Don't you love Captain Jack?
Fires off some real cannonballs.
Don't
What
you
a
love,
way that they had to fight back then with the cannonballs, man.
Wasn't that great, man? I'm gonna shoot
I mean,
a cannonball your way.
You had to line up. Like you couldn't shoot, and still it wasn't very accurate, but your best bet, your best attack was lining up.
Yeah.
Across from your enemy.
Yeah. Like this.
Just that was the best tactic. You couldn't, there was no just a maneuver where you got to have aim and timing and the wind trajectory and cover and
so basically you were playing a game of catch. Hey Patrick. So basically you were playing a game of catch with cannonballs. Hey, catch my cannonball.
Catch with cannonballs, yeah.
Hey,
and then once you got close enough, you swung across to the other ship to kill everybody on board.
You jumped on, right? You jumped on the damn thing. You needed Captain Jack Sparrow, didn't you? Wasn't Johnny Depp? He was great in those movies, wasn't he?
He was
Captain Jack.
Crazy. He lost all of his money
to that girl and that lawsuit.
But like, if you see the stuff in there, man, like they lived a crazy lifestyle. He lived money is not a thing to Johnny Depp. Maybe now that he doesn't have a lot, but I'm sure he still gets all his royalty checks, et cetera.
Man, he played the hell out of Captain Jack Sparrow, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He played that good, man. But that's where they'll play that game at tomorrow, where the Buccaneers have that battleship, over there. For God's sakes, you can't go wrong with a battleship. Hey, Pat, I want to ask you. We were going to talk about SEC football. The schedule reveal came out last week, and you and I haven't gone over that too much. I've got some interesting notes, I think. I want to go to Gator basketball, though. We talked in depth Florida with the big win over North Carolina. The Gators are ranked 7th in the nation. They're undefeated, 11-0. Patrick, you played 4 years at Florida. You went to the Elite Eight 3 years in a row. You played in a Final Four. What was your best start when you were at Florida? They're 11-0 now, and they've had a 17-0 start. I think this is their second best ever. They're 11-0. Do you remember your best start 4 years at Florida?
No, but
it was good. I bet
we had the longest. I think we had the longest winning streak.
That 30-something game.
That's more important.
Yeah,
winning 30 games in a row.
That was incredible.
That's
in a season. You won 30 in a row in a season.
30 in a row in a season.
The other night when I was watching Florida and North Carolina, and you watched it as well, when North Carolina got playing well in the second half, their two guards for Carolina, R.J. Davis and Cadeau, they reminded me of those two guards that played for UConn that got hot in that tournament. They got hot, and they won the tournament for UConn, didn't they? Those two little backcourt guys. Man. They got hot, man.
They absolutely did win the tournament. They sheesh, man.
I don't know if you had a chance, Patrick. The SEC revealed their 2025 SEC football schedule. And, man, there's some interesting stuff. I want to go over a few things, and, Pat, I want to get your comments on what I gleaned out of this in no particular order. Next year, and this is so odd, Florida, Tennessee, they seem to always play in late September, right? They always play like game 2 or 3 or 4, always. Next season, Florida will host Tennessee in late November. It's the last conference game for both Florida and Tennessee. That's crazy, isn't it? They never play that late. They're going to play the week before Thanksgiving.
What's up with that?
It's just because you've got an expanded conference and you've got Oklahoma and Texas. You got to move everything around.
Oh, my
Florida
God.
will. Here's one for you.
Well, I think there's some tradition, some things we do have to just let go and let God, but some you definitely can't.
It's going to be very odd for Florida and Tennessee to be playing their SEC conference game in like the third week of November before Thanksgiving weekend. It's going to be very odd.
I mean, it's going to be a big game. It's going to mean a lot. That's for sure.
We think. Anyway, here's one you got to believe. If you're the Texas Longhorns,
it always means a lot when we're up against them boys.
We hope so. How about this?
Good old Rocky Top.
Tennessee. Ain't no smoggy smoke on Rocky Top. Ain't no telephone bills. Corn won't grow at all on Rocky Top. Dirt's too rocky by far. That's why all the folks on Rocky Top get their corn from a jar. Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me. Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top 10. Hey, not a lot of guys can sing that right off the cuff like that I can. Okay?
Well,
not a lot of guys. I
because
love
you're a
college
big
fight
gator.
songs.
That's why.
I'm a big gator, but I love college fight songs. Here's one for you. How about next year? Texas. And, the schedules are all reversed this year. Whoever you played this year, it reverses next year, right?
Really?
If
Just
you
did,
play,
okay.
Okay, so how about this? Texas, those Longhorns, next year, they are at Florida and at Georgia. That ain't easy, brother. That ain't easy. Ooh.
Let's go, Arch. Let's
This
keep
year-
the streak alive on these Mannings, boy.
And you're damn right. Peyton never beat the Gators. But, Texas
Thanks,
had Florida
Eli,
at home.
Eli must have beat the Gators. Did he beat the Gators in the swamp, though?
He did beat the Gators in the swamp, I think. I think, wasn't Eli the quarterback on the Tim Tebow speech game when he gave the speech, "We'll never lose again"? They lost. I think he was. No, actually, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. The kid that transferred, I can't think of the kid's name. But getting back, Texas, Patrick, Texas this year one, they played Florida and Georgia at home. Next year, they go to Florida and Georgia.
Yeah.
Ooh. Here's a good game you don't see all the time. Texas A&M, they have their return game. Texas A&M at Notre Dame. You don't see that all the time.
Okay.
Texas A&M.
That's like what FSU and LSU did.
Yeah. Swapping it out. Here's one for you. Georgia and Tennessee, they play next year very early. They play week 3, early September, and that never happens. That'll be a fun one. Here's another game you don't see very often. Next year, Arkansas will host Notre Dame. Notre Dame at Arkansas. When do you ever hear that? That just sounds fun.
Yeah, that just sounds weird.
Notre Dame at Arkansas.
Be great for Arkansas to win that game because, I could see if Notre Dame comes in and they destroy them, that's a game that probably won't get back on the schedule for a long time.
For a long time is right. Here's a situation. The Gators last year, they opened up with Miami, and Miami really beat them bad in Gainesville. This year, you wonder if Florida would prefer playing Miami game 1. Do you realize this year Florida, they have at LSU and then at Miami, like week 4 and 5. I think the Gators would rather play Miami week 1 and split that up, but they got to go to LSU and then the following week to Miami. Ooh, that could be a little difficult. That could be a little difficult. Here's one for you.
Man.
Say that again.
I said we ain't scared.
We ain't scarred. We ain't scarred, are we?
No, not even a little bit.
Here's one for you. Georgia. This is kind of nasty. Georgia has a period next year where they will play at Tennessee, have an off week, and then Bama. Tennessee, Bama, kind of back-to-back with an off week. That ain't easy, Patrick, for Georgia. That ain't easy.
Yeah, who's going to be the guy? Jaden Rashada? Is he the guy?
I don't know.
For next year? I hope so.
No, it can't be. Is it going to be Jaden Rashada?
He's behind Gunnar Stockton, so I don't.
Well, hey, there's talk that Carson Beck may not be all but out. He may not definitely come out. He may need another.
Come back?
He can come back. I think he can.
I'm not gonna lie, man. What does it hurt for him to stay another year in college?
I think he can come back. He had a bad year.
No, seriously, like what does it hurt? He doesn't hurt his pocket. Doesn't hurt his potential to still become a number 1 pick. Doesn't hurt
and
the amount of money.
A bad year.
Because look, he obviously I don't know if he's going to be a first. I'm not sure if he's a first round draft.
He played him. I think he played himself out of the first round. I think he could come back. I think Carson Beck could come back.
He has, he can make. I mean, I don't know, man. Just the college style, being in the game, etching his name even louder. Of not winning a national championship.
I don't think he's that good. And keep in mind, he's coming off injury too. He's got a major injury.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
He's got a major injury. He may need to. I don't
Did
think he's
they
that good.
He's going to need Tommy John. There's no way that
We'll
injury with the elbow, he tore something.
We'll see.
I'm honestly surprised that doesn't happen more, Terry.
Yeah.
That injury.
The way he got hit, kind of heaving it that way and got hit going. The opposite force. The opposite
forces, yeah.
Yeah.
And that defensive hand was coming with some aggression.
It was coming down hard. It was. A couple things I noticed from the schedule, Patrick. Boy, I looked at Kentucky's schedule. They've got a nasty streak next year of games. How about this foursome for Kentucky? At South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Tennessee in a row. Oh, man, that is rough. That is real rough.
Someone's got to have in the SEC has the easiest schedule. That's what I want to know.
I don't know easiest. I did note, in my opinion, the toughest schedules that I saw on paper today when I was putting this together. I think Oklahoma has a tough schedule. I think Kentucky has a tough schedule, and I think Florida. Here's one for you. LSU, Brian Kelly, he never gets off to a good start. They lose their first game every year, LSU.
Every year, man.
Here's their first and third games. They've got Clemson game 1 and Florida game 3. That ain't easy, boys, for LSU. That is not easy. Here's a fun game for you. Patrick, next year, and I think I've got this right. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, they will play Arizona State, and you know who they have as a player, right? Scooby-Doo.
I think he's a senior, so I think he's up out of there.
I think he comes back, doesn't he? Scooby-Doo can come back, can't he?
I don't know. I don't think he should.
I want to see Scooby-Doo in Starkville.
He's going to the NFL, man.
I don't know.
I want to cheer for him in the NFL. I don't know if he's a running back. He might be better as a tight end, honestly.
What's his name, really? Scatterboo?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Aattebo.
Scooby-Doo. All right, and here's two more cool games. I just think, these games look cool on paper, and they'll look cool when the two teams are on the field together. Next year, SEC football games. Michigan at Oklahoma. How cool is that game going to look like?
Michigan at Oklahoma. That yellow standing out there, that maze.
Blue Bloods, baby. That's Blue Bloods right there. Michigan, Oklahoma. And how about this one? Next year, college football out of the SEC. Texas at Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
How good is that? How good? Hey, what about Ryan Day? Ryan Day is on the hot. If Tennessee was to rout Ohio State, Ryan Day's job may be in jeopardy. I don't know who they'd get, but they're not happy with Ryan Day.
Better?
I don't know. Mike Vrabel. They go get Ohio State star Mike Vrabel, maybe.
Mike Vrabel would be a great hire.
He's the guy I think that they would go get because they could get him out of the NFL. Do you realize Ryan Day is on the hot seat? If Tennessee beats them tomorrow night, Ryan Day is on a mega hot seat, and his record is really good, but he can't beat Michigan. He can't.
Yeah, it's
4 in a row, man.
What's this? 4 in a row, yeah. It all went wrong when he trash talked Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah,
he crap talked him in a meeting or something, and in like a public meeting, for the Big Ten, and that's when it went south after that season. Remember that.
And you know what? Remember, people were saying Harbaugh he'll never beat Ohio State. And you know what? He hung around long enough, and he beat him.
That's who did it the most. Goodness,
and he beat him. And he beat him.
Dude, it was I thought Paul just had I thought Harbaugh did something to Paul Feinbaum while he was coming down on him. So, dude,
it got ugly,
didn't it?
It got ugly. All right, Pat, as we go to break, I want to read this because I have found a lot of fans out there, they don't quite understand the winter college football portal, okay? I did some research, and I've got it right here in black and white. Bear with me, Pat. I'm going to do a lot of reading here, but I want to go over exactly what happens with the portal, and I want to put some fans at ease. The portal closes next Saturday, December 28th, but that doesn't mean the players have to have picked. where they're going. A lot of fans, including Gator fans, are getting nervous. Wait a minute. All we've done is sign a portal punter. All we've signed is a punter. This is the Gator fan. And next Saturday, it closes. All right, Pat, you ready? I'm going to read some stuff here, okay? It's going to be boring, but stay with me, okay? Transfer portal windows. The winter transfer portal for 2024-25 school year opened on December 9th, and it closes on December 28th. That's a week from Saturday. The spring portal runs from April 16th to April 25th. That's in the spring. Okay. Enrollment. Players must be enrolled for spring semester to participate in spring practice at their new school. This typically means choosing a new school in January. Okay? January. Additional transfer. Players on teams that compete in the college football playoff and later bowl games, such as the Gator Bowl on January 2nd, can enter an additional 5-day transfer portal window. So you hear that, Patrick? If you play on a late bowl game, you get 5 days after December 28th to put your name in. Grad transfers can enter the portal at any time. They can commit and sign an athletics aid agreement, which ends their recruiting process. Coaching changes. Players have 30 days to enter the portal after a coaching change, even if it occurs outside the December 28th window. Pat, did you hear that?
At any time.
So what that means is, that doesn't mean if your coach gets fired. That also means if your coach takes an NFL job and scrams, right?
Yeah.
That school has an extra 30 days. And then here's the big one, Patrick. Or here's a couple more big ones. Eligibility. Players who are academically eligible in good standing with their current school are eligible to play immediately at their new school. And then here's the final one, Patrick. Players don't have to decide on a new school before the transfer portal closes December 28th. They can take official visits and go through the recruiting process. That's why I'm reading all this, Patrick. The fans think that you have to pick your school by the 28th or your school is missed out. That is not the case. You can add players through the month of January. You get it, Pat?
Yeah, I get you.
I just wanted to get that out because I think there's a bunch of misinformation out there that if you don't have your portal class put together by next Saturday, that's the end. That is not the end. That's the last day you can put your name in the portal. And by putting your name in the portal, your name goes in a master list. And that list means any school can contact you at any time to ask, are you interested? You're basically just putting your name in a dating application, right?
Right, absolutely. What needs to change? Well, not that makes it just, is there still a timing thing that just makes it so much better? Obviously, that needs to be fixed. Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah. And then, Patrick, as we go to break, the winter portal closes December 28th, but you can sign through January. Then there will be a spring football portal that opens up April 15th. That's after everybody's spring practice, 10 days, because you may go practice with your team all spring, play your spring game, and go, wait a minute, I don't like my standing on this team. I want to get out of there. There's another portal in the spring that you can throw your name in and get out of there. Just wanted to get that out for you folks. Let's take a break, come back, we'll wrap up. We're going to land this plane. Busy Thursday. Crowd filing in at Sliders as they always do. Happy hour well underway. We'll take a break. Patrick Young's hanging around. I'm Terry Norvelle. We'll wrap this puppy up when we come back. The Young and Norvelle Show coming to you from Sliders on Action Sports Jax.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Rick's Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Rick's Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Rick's Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dynamic Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
I'll tell you one thing, who needs downtown New York City in Christmas season when we've got downtown Jax Vegas? Look at Patrick Young. I hope you can see that shot. Look at downtown
That's nice.
Jax Vegas. Just
you know, you got to be at River and
doing.
Post. That's where you need to be right there.
You what,
River and Post.
Look at that place right there.
That's where you go, Terry.
I'll tell you one thing, everybody says, let's go. I'll meet you there. Hey, everybody says New York City in Christmas time. I guarantee you they don't have the weather we've got right now. It is beautiful right here on the First Coast. Gorgeous Christmas season weather. He is Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle, wrapping things up. Patrick, a couple things to get to before we get out of here, and you may have one or two things, but Jaguar building blocks. Obviously, we've got the entire offseason to talk about this, but do the Jaguars have many building blocks to try and dig out of this hole they're in? I've listed a few. Trevor, obviously, Hines Allen, Walker, Brian Thomas, Tyson Campbell. Do they have any other really building blocks? I mean, they've got a couple of put up or shut up guys. I think Anton Harrison is a put up or shut up. Do they have many building blocks to get out of this mess they're in right now?
I don't think so. No. That's my quick answer. No.
Yeah. And then what do you do?
I really think this team is 2 years or 3 years away from at minimum 2 seasons away from being 2 seasons away.
Wow. I hear you, because I don't know how can you – they're not going to get the first pick in the first round, which I think is one of the quick ways to start digging out of this hole. They're not going to get this. They're going to win too many games. And I know that sounds crazy, Patrick, win too many games. The Jaguars are going to win too many games, and they're going to end up getting a draft pick, I think, 8, 9, or 10. And number one, that's a crapshoot. Number two, it's only one player. I think right now they're spinning around. They don't have anybody to trade of value, right? To make a big trade, you got to have somebody that's trade worthy. They don't have anybody to trade. They don't have much cap space, do they? Right? They spent their cap space.
Any guy that they want to trade, might be somebody that's worth trading. Would be somebody that you want to keep here. Like we want to keep Trayvon. We want to keep. Right now, what's our guy?
Brian Thomas
at linebacker.
Alua Khan.
I like Foye, man. I just maybe
I don't think he has any trade value. He has no value.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't. And look, he runs all over the field. He's just not. I don't know, man. He's guys from Yale. He's smart.
Yeah, the thing
really
about Alua Khan, I think most
Devin Lloyd.
No, Devin Lloyd has no. Devin Lloyd shouldn't even be here. He's just a guy. Everybody looks at Alua Khan.
Who's our guy from the Gator guy?
Ventrell Miller.
Ventrell Miller. There you go.
I think Alua Khan, and some people right now may be in their car going, wait a minute. Alua Khan, he has led the NFL in tackles for 2 years. Well, if you back up a little bit and you look at it from 30,000 feet down, if you know the team, not to take anything away from Alua Khan and all those tackles, the main reason, you know why he's led the NFL in tackles? Well, he's a linebacker, and the front line for Jacksonville on defense, they don't make any tackles. Right?
They don't make any. Yeah, they're not. We're not. What's our TFL? Our tackles for loss for our linebacker for our D line.
Yeah. Patrick. Patrick. In basketball, one of the ways you can get a lot of rebounds if you play for a team that misses a lot of shots. Right?
Or if you're Angel Reese, Angel Reese, you just throw up a shot and rebound it yourself to add them stats.
Yeah. I'll tell you, though, the Jaguars have a couple of put up or shut up players. Next year, do you realize former first-round pick Anton Harrison, who probably is their best offensive lineman, next year it's put up or shut up. That's his third year, Patrick. He's got to become a really good player, or you go, we missed on this guy, right? Anton Harrison, he'll be in his third year.
Yeah, at this point.
At what point, even though you just paid him a lot of money, at what point does Tyson Campbell become hey, man, if you can't stay on the field, we busted with you. This guy cannot stay on the field, right? Tyson Campbell.
Did he get injured again?
Well, he was injured half the season earlier.
He missed a lot of the beginning.
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember if he got injured injured in his comeback, in his return.
And then you look at Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. I think 2 building blocks. You can build around these guys, but you know what we figured out about Hines Allen? And he got his big contract last year. Hines Allen is a good player. He's never going to be a superstar, right? Hines Allen is never going to be a 19-sack guy or a 21. That's the big guys in the league. The Watts guys, they go and get 19, 20, 21 sacks. Hines Allen's just a good, solid guy. Would you agree with that?
What did he get last year? 15, 16?
I think he got like 15, and they have like 15 combined right now, Walker and Allen. I don't know. Trevor obviously is a building block. Brian Thomas, it looks like it's a long. If you're trying to build just from one-on-one draft picks, it's hard because you can't miss, Patrick. You can't miss.
You can't. It's the guy. Yeah, of all the picks you can't miss on, it can't be the ones. It can't be the ones.
Yeah.
of all
And
the
then
ones,
what do you do? And then
you
what
can
if
miss and make back. But yeah, when your investment in them, and that it just sets you back so far, because you probably could have kept who you had, or went into a different position, went to a different route, a different player, and your outcomes would be different.
Yeah.
Luke Jokel, man. Luke Jokel.
I'll tell you Jokel.
Good old Luke.
There's one potential huge nightmare. I don't think what I'm going to bring up would help or would happen. I don't think this is going to happen, but I'm going to throw it out there. The Raiders and the Giants are so bad, I think they're going to lose out. I think they are going to pick 1 and 2, 2 and 1, or in some order like that. But the biggest nightmare for the Jaguars would be that the Giants and the Raiders win a game or two at the end. They're both 2 and 12. Could you imagine if the Tennessee Titans, who are also 3 and 11, what if the Titans just lost the rest of their games? The Raiders and the Giants won one more. The Jaguars win. What if the Titans got the first pick in the first round? And then they could make a big deal. Wouldn't that be a nightmare? They could make a 3-player swap for that pick or something.
Yeah,
that'd be a nightmare, wouldn't it?
Oh man, gosh, yeah. And they're getting a quarterback.
Oh,
are they ever?
Are
they ever getting a quarterback? So
you would think
that might help.
Why,
I don't know, man.
For people just tuning in, why I think it's so important that the Jaguars, if they could somehow have gotten the first pick in the first round, the Jaguars aren't going to pick a quarterback. Okay, we know that. They've got Trevor Lawrence, not picking a quarterback. If the Jaguars got the 1 pick in the first round, obviously the LA Raiders and the New York Giants are probably going to be sitting at 2 and 3. If the Jaguars were 1, both of those franchises are desperate for quarterbacks. They both would take Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward in some order. And if you're the Jaguars, you're not taking a quarterback. If you were picking ahead of them, you shop that pick, you call both of them and say, hey, put your offers on the table. And you go get a couple of starting players and their pick, Patrick.
Absolutely.
Man, this is the time for the Jaguars to have the 1, but they're not going to get it.
And it's so weird to think of, how do you tell your guys we need to lose these games for the future of this team?
You can't. You
play to win, man. I think
can't.
Well,
you can't. All right.
Well, maybe just within certain play, like we're not going for it on 4th down on certain things, or you can obviously don't make it blatant, but you if we win, it's not because we were given 110%. We were given just 95%. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
that's such a weird situation.
Well, I'll tell you another.
Such a weird.
I'll tell you another spinoff. I'll tell you another spinoff that hurts the Jaguars. But what I'm going to say, unfortunately, is as true as the nose on my face. It's just the way it is. The Jaguars franchise is not a franchise that people out there in the world of the NFL are saying, man, I want to go there. I want to be part of that. With that said, when Khan fires Doug Peterson, the pool of coaches that are going to get hired, the Jaguars don't get to go to the front of that line. The Jaguars are going to pick guys that turned other jobs down, right? Or got passed over. They don't get the first pick in the coaching carousel. I mean, look at who they've hired. Doug Peterson was released because he was considered a fluke failure. Gus Bradley and Mike Mularkey and on and on. The Jaguars, who are they going to get to run this franchise?
I don't know, man.
Nobody's tripping over themselves to get a hold of the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise. Nobody.
No one is.
It's just a fact.
It's a fact,
I hate
man.
to be that guy. Yeah. Hate to be that guy. All right, Pat, we're about out of here. Yeah. Hey, if it was easy, everybody do it, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get out of this hole that the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I might do it.
You are?
It's a bad choice.
For you. Sounds good. Hey, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I can't wait. Tomorrow's Football Fun Friday, man. I can't wait to get set up at Bricks Jacks Beach. If you're looking for a place to watch the Gator game, get away from work. Hopefully you're off. Get out of work after lunch, man. Go, scram. Gators kick off at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon on a Friday. If you're looking for a place to watch, we will be set up at Bricks Jacks Beach down in Jacksonville Beach. Come by, say hi. Our show will be live during the game, 4 to 6. We're going to have a big time. Can't wait. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. Patrick, I can't wait, man. We'll be watching the game on the air, and then the college football playoff kicks off tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So Florida will lead right into the start of the college football playoff. I think Florida wins tomorrow. I think it'll be a nice way to close out the season. If you want to watch it with us, we will be down at Bricks Jacks Beach tomorrow. 4 to 6. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. Hope you can come down. That'll wrap it up. I want to thank all of our people that made today's show happen. Look at that beautiful shot of downtown Jacksonville. I want to thank Kate Kistner, our buddy that joins us a lot, and, of course, Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and certainly enjoy all of your early weekend football tomorrow. Come down to Bricks and watch the Gators as we follow Florida. Have a good day, everybody.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jacks Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jacks Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jacks Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%. You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at nimnickbuickgmc.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.